Hello everyone, it is the Hebrew Jamaican Coolie back again with another video heading home, and I'm going to do part 2 of this series. And like I said before, there's going to be a lot of conversations that we need to have about black men and black women in the African diaspora. Basically, what I mean is Caribbean, American, and probably even Africa itself. But I don't really know about how African fathers do certain things, so I can't speak on them. What I am going to speak on, though, is Jamaican men in particular. And, as I spoke to my best friend last night, we were talking about the amount of trauma, the amount of dysfunction we grew up under. Not just because of black men, but because of black women as well. There's a lot of dysfunction in the community. And we absolutely refuse to place blame where blame is necessary. We always want to demonize the black man, but we dare not demonize the black woman. Why? She needs to be demonized as well. She is extremely complicit in what has happened to the community as well. And those who basically condone the behavior that we're seeing out of black women, that the black women that are in their 50s all the way back down to their 20s right now, is the reason why we're seeing the problems that we're seeing right now. Because that's the age group that really fundamentally caused the problems that we're experiencing right now in society. You understand? So, that not being the topic right now, because I am going to get to that. I am going to get to black women and how they basically trash the community and are being praised for it. Praised for doing something wrong. How can you praise somebody for doing something stupid and wrong? How can you do that? How can you pedestalize and praise somebody for doing something wrong? That doesn't make any sense to anyone. And we've been saying it for years. And then there's a narrative being pushed that when you don't praise somebody for doing something wrong, you're a hater, you're gay, you're this, you're that. Right? We really need to get these topics out in the open. And we need to be honest, like I said before, if we are going to move forward as a people, we have to address all these issues, put the solutions out there, and basically tell these people that you can't exist like this in a community that we're going to build. You can't. And if you want to exist the way that you exist, you have to exist outside of that. Right? You have to, I'm being truthfully honest with you, just like how when certain white people not on code, people basically exile them by turning their backs on them. You have to do that in the black community for the greater good. Not everybody belongs, and not everybody wants to belong. Everybody wants the privilege, right? And the rewards and the awards of being in a community that is functioning and working, but they don't want to do the work. They just want to take and take and take, but they don't want to do the work. And that's the fundamental problem with the community right now. They want other people to build, and they want to take what other people built, but they don't add nothing. They don't add nothing of substance to the community to help it build. And then when you tell them that you can't behave certain ways or else it's going to destroy the community, you have these heifers basically having a problem with just learning how to behave decently, dress decently, act decently, look decently. We need to stop pedestalizing this culture. It's not a positive one. It's not one we should be calling upon ourselves. The scripture says, as a man thinketh, so is he. You understand? But let me get into the topic right now. I wanted to get to part 2. And like I said before, part 2 is about the trauma that many of us Jamaican men have because of our fathers that were before us and their fathers before them. So I want to start with my grandfather. When I met my grandfather on my father's side, I'm not talking about my mother's grandfather, I'm talking about my father's father. When I met my grandfather, my father's father, he seemed like a very nice man. Very strong grip for a very old man. I felt like one time the man was going to rip off my arm with his grip. Because he was a farmer and things like that. And, you know, in Jamaica, countryman, them man, they come in like, say, when them shake your hand or when them man, they will rip your freaking arm off. Right? So, in any case, you know, he seemed like a nice man and thing. And then, you know, I get to find out a lot of things about the man. The man was a soldier. And the man used to abuse his wife. You see me? And father used to talk about how his father used to abuse his mother. Right? And that's one generational trauma. Then my father talked about how the man kicked him out at the age of 14 because my father wanted to go to like a cadet camp. And his father told him no. And my father went anyway. And when he came back from the cadet camp, his clothes was on the grass. What kind of friggin' father is that? What kind of friggin' father is that at the age of 14 you kick out Pitney out a friggin' yard? Like you know, no friggin' sense. Well, you are where you are right now and you're going for answer for that. Because you create a friggin' chain reaction that came all the way down to me. And you're going to face the Most High for that. I have no regret or remorse for not knowing you enough after hearing those stories. Right? You kick the man out when him at 14, the man have to sleep on the bus stop and work in a friggin' garage. Right? And that's how the man learned him trade. So he worked in a garage, learned the trade. Then he went to work for my grandfather, my mother's father, who owned his own auto shop. And married my mother. You understand? Well, he also became a policeman, but that's another story for another time. Right? So, this is only like a fraction of what I can, not that what I can tell you, but what I can practically hold in a video. Because were I to say everything that happened to me and my siblings while living in that home with that man, the stories would never be able to end. We were the mockery of the neighborhood. The mockery. As if we weren't even hated enough for being something called a coolie. Right? We need to talk about those things too. So black people in Jamaica love to talk about how, you know, people don't like them and them things, and they will turn around. They will turn around and be, I wouldn't even call prejudice against people that are mixed, like myself. You dare not be mixed, right, in Jamaica. I talked about it with the Chinese Jamaicans. I talked about it with the Asian Jamaicans. I'm going to talk about it with the black Jamaicans as well. You understand? All of you getting the lick all the way around. You see me? It just so happens that the black Jamaicans were the ones who were my friends. You understand? They gave me a home more than any other race in a Jamaica. You see me? So, anyway. The trauma that these men passed on to their sons. It's I don't even know what to say. You understand? Because the things that these men are, the things I used to hear, I'm going to say, wait a minute, my father did them things there too. A lot of us Jamaican men, like I said before, we grew up with a lot of trauma and we didn't realize that it was trauma until we go into functioning relationships, or even function in households when friends invite you over, and you know you've been over there long enough to see when your friend's father and mother have an argument and how them deal with the argument, and you're like, wow, you know, you just say to your friend, say, yo, my mother would have get her head knock off a long time and box down and kick down if she talked to my father a certain way. This is not to encourage women to speak in a manner that is very, very toxic to a man. Some of you women don't know or should learn how to control your freaking mouth, because your mouth is not made to say anything you feel like to anybody, because not everybody is going to take what you say. Some people are basically going to harm you. Even the scriptures say that your tongue is sharper than any two-edged sword. How many times the scriptures basically have to tell us that we have to be careful of opening our mouth a certain way? A lot of you women claim to be Christians, claim to be followers of the scripture, claim to follow the Most High, but your mouth is far removed from Him. Your attitude is far removed from Him. How you treat people, how you treat a man, how you treat others is far removed from being somebody who follows the scriptures. A lot of you are charlatans. You're charlatans. That's why a lot of you women, I don't put you on practice. I don't put none of you on practice. I don't follow none of you. Right? That's why I tell you, a lot of women, what they do, they grift. When they're talking about men's issues, they don't give a damn about men's issues. They don't. They're just doing it to get a bag, and I can understand that. You're doing it to get a bag, but you honestly, really and truly don't care about men, nor the issues that we face. You understand? Again, I don't want to drift away from the issue. But black men, we had men in our lives that broke us down for no apparent reason. They broke us down because they were broken down. They broke us down because they thought that that is what you're supposed to do. Break somebody down. Which man, which father ever build up his son? Which father ever build up his son in a manner of positively reinforcing how good his son has done something? There's a time, let me tell you something, there was a time I basically fixed a car on my own, and my father checked it, and the car was really, really good and everything like that after I fixed it for the customer. And my father never said, good job, son, you did excellent. You understand? No praise, no accolades, nothing to say that he approved of me fixing the freaking car, other than to freaking collect the money from the car being fixed by me. Not even to say, son, you follow your training well. Good job. That was excellent, my son. Great job. When I'm teaching my kids gymnastics, every single freaking thing them do, if they don't do it good, then I correct them. I say, yo, put your foot together, legs straight, point your toes. Them do it good, good job. We have 5 more to do. Every time they do it good, positive friggin' reinforcement. When them do it bad, nothing positive. Critique. You understand? Critique and say, alright, just do it better next time. But they know if they do something good in that house, daddy is going to positively reinforce them. Daddy is going to tell them, good job. Daddy is going to say, I love you, good job. I don't see anything hard, and I don't see anything negative about a man telling his damn child that he loves them, especially if it's a friggin' male child. You men who constantly push this narrative that this is how we're supposed to be, you are the problem with society. You are the problem with society. When men don't learn how to understand their own emotions within them, and how to navigate those emotions, and how to basically tell those emotions, yo, this is not the time for you. They aren't as logical as other men that are taught how to navigate their emotions. We think that by hiding emotions and stuff like that, that it's much better. It is not. It is not. And this came from the trauma of men who didn't teach us any better. Them never teach us nothing. Not a damn thing did these men teach us. Not a damn. I can go to like several men, several friends, and say, yo, what did your father teach you that was substantial to your living in life? What life lesson did your father teach you or give you that you still hold on to this day? I can guarantee you a lot of Jamaican men and American men are going to tell me nothing. You know why? Because a lot of these men didn't teach them nothing. Them go around and them talk about how this generation, this, them lazy, them this, them not that. But you didn't teach us not to be lazy, did you? You were supposed to teach us that. We're supposed to just grow up and know. Oh, we're just innately born with the knowledge of everything, right? We're innately born with the knowledge of everything, right? Because you know so goddamn much and didn't teach us a damn thing. And this is why I am so hard on that friggin' generation. Because they not only failed us, they broke us. And we are here picking up the pieces from what they've done wrong to us, so that it doesn't happen to our families. You understand? And we have to continue, men. Men, we have to continue being strong. We have to continue learning, growing, teaching our own children how to navigate this toxic society. And I'm not just talking toxic in terms of like harmful men and stuff like that. I'm talking toxic as in toxic women as well. Women who are just as vile as the men that raised us. Because they went unchecked for a very long time. These women, they went unchecked for a very long time. And now that men are starting to put them on blast, they're screaming that people hate them. This is the Hebrew Jamaican Kool-Aid. There's going to be a part 3. I'm out.